So in a sense, it's potentially just going to be a loan deal except, Liverpool ultimately pay Leverkusen 10 million euros at the end of it all for training him for a year, maybe 2 years. And I guess that's a decent compromise. It means Leverkusen get a young player who they can help develop, who will probably be perfectly good enough for Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. He's a very good passer of the ball. He can run with the ball. He's very good with the ball at his feet. As you said, he's a big lad, and he should be a good option for Leverkusen going forward. I've seen a lot of people really kind of question that transfer fee, but it's obviously, I think it actually is technically a record for Leverkusen, if I'm not mistaken. But he's 22, he's English or Scottish, and a few decent years in Germany, and clubs will be happy to pay twice that in the Premier League. So I don't think Leverkusen really worried too much about that. They've obviously scouted him and seen he's a decent player. I guess the question is just whether Liverpool will try and re-sign him, and I think that's something that's probably definitely up in the air. The situation at Liverpool is quite interesting. They've also got Van Dijk, who just had a really good season actually, but is now, about to turn 34. And then there's Ibrahima Konate, who's actually coming into the last year of his contract and hasn't signed a contract extension. So there's an interesting kind of situation there where Liverpool might be forced to sell Konate, and they're looking to bring in Mark Gay from Crystal Palace, or Heto, who's the young central defender at Ajax. Those are the two main players they've been linked with. Now, I think even if they do have to move in Konate and they sign someone like Gay this summer to replace him, I still think probably next summer they'll be looking for another central defender, because I would probably say they needed a central defender before they even sold Quansah or agreed to sell Quansah. I just can't really foresee a situation next year or two where Liverpool aren't in need of at least another central defender to come into that team. And I'm sure Quansah, if he does well enough at Leverkusen, can be that guy. All this is to say, I think it's quite a smart move from Leverkusen. It's a loan deal in everything but name, really, I would say. But, you never know. He might not want to go back to Liverpool, in which case Leverkusen have a very good young player in their hands. But in the short term, Manu, it's a pretty smart replacement for Jonathan Tah, a player who I suspect many Bayern fans would have maybe preferred their club sign instead of Jonathan Tah this summer. He's obviously the kind of young prospect that I think a lot of Bayern fans are kind of hoping their club make more signings of. I think he ticks all the boxes for Leverkusen. I think that's a good way of putting it.